Well, let me start with the fact that the Warner Brothers Motion Picture Group has fantastic IP and a great history, as you know, with it turning 100. And between DC, the animation group, together with the entire Warner library, our ambition is to bring Warner back and to produce great high-quality films. And as we look at the opportunities that we have broadly, DC is one of the top of the list for us. You look at Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman. These are brands that are known everywhere in the world, and the ability to drive those all over the world with great story is a big opportunity for us. We have done a reset. We've restructured the business where we're going to focus, where there will be a team with a 10-year plan focusing just on DC. It's very similar to the structure that Alan Horn and Bob Iger put together very effectively with Kevin Feige at Disney. We think that we could build a long-term, much stronger, sustainable growth business out of DC. And as part of that, we're going to focus on quality. We're not going to release any film before it's ready. We're not going to release a film to make a quarter. We're not going to release a film the focus is going to be how do we make each of these films, in general, as good as possible. But DC is something that we think we could make better, and we're focused on it now. We have some great DC films coming up, Black Adam, Shazam, and Flash. And we're working on all of those. We're very excited about them. We've seen them. We think they're terrific, and we think we can make them even better. And that's what Mike and Pam and the team are doing, and focusing on that. Strategically, we've looked hard at the direct-to-streaming business. We've seen, luckily, by having access now to all the data, how direct-to-streaming movies perform. And our conclusion is that expensive direct-to-streaming movies, in terms of how people are consuming them on the platform, how often people go there or buy it, or buy a service for it, and how it gets nourished over time, is no comparison to what happens when you launch a film in the motion picture, in the theaters. And so this idea of expensive films going direct to streaming, we cannot find an economic case for it. We can't find an economic value for it. And so we're making a strategic shift. As part of that, we've been out in the town talking about our commitment to the theatrical exhibition and the theatrical window. A number of movies will be launched with shorter windows. Some might have different kinds of marketing campaigns where we take advantage of us having the biggest platform and a platform that all motion picture companies look for. But we'll always be agile. Our focus will be on theatrical, and when we bring the theatrical films to HBO Max, we find they have substantially more value, and we have an ecosystem where we can have the premier motion picture business. That's why most people moved to Hollywood. That's why most people got in this business, to be on the big screen when the lights went out, and that is the magic. And the economic model is much stronger. And the other thing is that we're going to focus very hard on quality. I said we're not going to launch a movie until it's ready. We're not going to launch a movie to make a quarter. And we are not going to release a movie, and we're not going to put a movie out unless we believe in it. And that's it. I mean, and particularly with DC, where we think we want to pivot, and we want to elevate, and we want to focus.
And Brian, on Fast, two quick comments. Number one is just a reminder that as we look at that space, the content we're talking about that would be in that kind of a product would be totally different than the content that would be in our premium SVOD offering. So number one, the distinction is totally different. And with over 100,000 titles or episodes across our combined portfolio, there's a lot of content that wouldn't necessarily make sense in a premium product that might make sense in a Fast. The second thing is on a market by market. Look, that's part of the assessment that we're looking at and we'll look through over the next few months. And as we have more details of how we think and where we think the opportunity is the richest, we'll come back to you and take you through it.
Just the objective is to grow the DC brand, to grow the DC characters, but also our job is to protect the DC brand, and that's what we're going to do.